Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Friday, December 1st, 2023. Post market wrap up. Beautiful day. Just absolutely lovely. And it's just, look, it's doing exactly what you and I expected it to do. I'm referring to this freak show of the stock market. Who's buying all the debt? Do you realize what's going on here? Some entity with enormous amounts of firepower is buying the debt as if there's no tomorrow. Did you see the 10-year yield today? I know you did. If you follow this blog, you're following this stuff dropping. The dollar did weaken after yesterday's pretty significant run up, and that was enough to push the stock market higher, all the major indices higher. Now, it's interesting. I don't know how many of you had and when I say displeasure, I mean displeasure to the highest order and beyond. Powell made some remarks today. Vomitous mass puke that it is. I'm referring to the Fed chairman Yellowstein over there. It's funny, and this is a quote here. I had to write this down. The Federal Reserve is prepared to raise rates if necessary. The moment this is what makes you got to laugh at this stuff. You almost have to like roll all over the freaking floor laughing because the moment that it said that, him, puke, rates dropped. They dropped. Look, it can say whatever it wants to. Obviously, there's something else going on here. And it's kind of interesting, too, because then the other thing came out. Fed President Williams, he's another one. I can't stand that man's face. I can't stand his face. Yes, sir. I can't stand your face. Sorry if you're watching this. Yeah. Anyway, why did I do that? I don't know. But yeah, he said that, quote, the Federal Reserve is either rates are perfect where they are, or, the Federal Reserve may raise them a little bit moving forward. But how about no? The market's calling the Fed's bluff here. The market's going to, keep having easy money pumped into it from here to kingdom come and beyond, whenever that may come. And it's just, look, it's what you would expect here. The pump is not stopping. The market is not allowed to drop here. I've been waiting patiently, like most of you probably, for this market to drop even just a little bit, because I want to get in here and buy more. I want to get in here. I want to buy more on the cheap. If I have to buy more now, I almost bought more today, okay? Because it doesn't seem like they're going to allow this market to pull back. It's just gone basically straight up now for 6 freaking weeks. And this is obviously, easy money. Fed's buying all the debt. Look, it's unbelievable what we're seeing. But this is a gift that keeps on giving to all of us. I mean that. Anyway, you know my take on this. Is the MMRI at 270? Wow. Thanks, Magic Maker. You know what? I forgot to look at it towards the end of the day. That's the drop in the 10-year yield and the drop in the dollar. We're going below 250. The 10-year yield right now is, I think, 4.21. Last time I looked at it at the bell. We're going below 4. On the 10-year yield. I think there's just no doubt about it. And this market is going up. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate that. Is that right? That's interesting, by the way. Anyway, so look, the freak show will go on until it doesn't. Bitcoin. Now, let me say this, and I know I'm going to take a lot of heat for what I'm about to say. Bitcoin broke over 38,000 today. All of you know, because I said it right here when I did it. I bought Bitcoin around 17,000. I've more than doubled my cash here in a relatively short period of time. Now, I do believe, really, in my heart of hearts, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that cryptocurrencies are going to benefit greatly when the eventual meltdown of the debt market occurs. And all the Fed is doing right now, okay, is hyper pumping it. And it's going to make the meltdown even worse. You understand? The liquidity issue, it's still in force. You would never know that. But that's what's going on here. Liquidity is drying up. Thank you so much. Thank all of you for supporting my work. On the first of every month, I ask for your support. A bunch of you did do that. I really appreciate all of you so much. Thank you, V-Dog. Thank you, Peter. All of you, you're amazing. Anyway, so we understand, you and me, the Fed is exacerbating the problem exponentially. All right. And the mechanism of false flags, expanding wars, cash for wars, fake GDP numbers that include government spending. Meanwhile, the economy is slowing. I mean, the economy isn't just slowing, it's over for the economy. The people are done. They're getting destroyed. They're getting wiped out, an entire class of people. And this is a global phenomenon. The world today is going back into a neo feudal system. It's not just one nation, it's all over the place. And of course, the wealth is being pushed right up to the 1% and 2%ers. Who owns most of the stock market? The 1% and 2%ers. And trust me, they're very happy as to what's going on here. And we could take advantage of that too. You understand? They're no smarter than we are. In fact, they're probably a lot stupider than we are, because we know their plan. We know what they want to do. Woken up. Thank you. And thanks for being woken up too. James, thank you. Wow. Appreciate that. Sing us a song. One day I'm going to sing a song. I'm just not really in a singing mood right now. I'll be honest with you. So anyway, A-Flex, thanks. Appreciate it. So going back to this market real quick. Higher across the board on the back of the dropping 10-year yield. It's cratering. Okay, it's going much lower in my opinion. The dollar is going to wave around. Will remain the prettiest bell at the ball. But on a relative strength basis, you can expect the dollar to stay stronger as other currencies get sucked dry by their respective central banks. We're pretty clear on that. Going back to Bitcoin. Okay. I've made over 100% of my investment so far. William, thank you. I want to be honest with you. I'm actually considering pulling profit out of that, leaving my initial investment, pulling profit and buying more gold and silver right now. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. If I do this, I promise to let all of you know. Gordon Gekko said greed is good. I don't actually agree with that. You gotta be smart. And if you make 100% profit or more than 100% profit on any kind of an asset, it may be time to think about. I mean, I think it's going multiples higher in the longer run. I'm not saying I wouldn't buy more, but in the event that I decide to, I could pull a nice chunk of change out of my Bitcoin profit, utilize that for something else, leave the initial investment, and add to that moving forward. You understand? There's nothing wrong ever. And let me say this one more time, ever. If you pull profits, you can never be wrong. I don't care what some freak is going to crawl out of the woodwork and say, "Oh, you made a mistake. Can you close your position?" Bullshit. Sorry, I can't say those words anymore here. But you can never be wrong ever. Ever. I don't care what the situation is, pulling profit out of anything. You understand? Most people fall into that kind of a trap. Let's say, for example, you're a trader. You're in stock XYZ. You're a swing trader. You're up 20% in 3 days. And you say, you know what? I'm going to hold on because I think I can make more than that 20%. And then all of a sudden it disappears. And then you go, I wish I would have pulled the 20%. Do you see what I'm talking about? This is the difference between a professional investor, a trader, and someone that's just sitting there, having some kind of a pipe dream, whatever it might be. But it's never wrong, ever wrong. Every single one of my lines is going to tell you the same thing. It's never wrong to pull profits. And when someone tells you that that's not true, you're listening to an imbecile. All right. So let's just get that out of the way. Anyway, if I do decide to do that, I'll let you know. Like I said, Bitcoin broke over 38 grand today. It's a big number, going much higher, no doubt about it. That's why you leave, you pull profit, you leave your initial investment and you let it grow again. There's nothing wrong with this. I think that's the way pros do it. How would I know that? Because I am one. And that's the way it works, people. Oh, anyway. People, this guy, I just love all of you so much. Thank you for letting me sit here and vent and just blow stuff off. I'm trying so desperately to keep people educated, to let them understand what's going on, to take advantage of every freaking thing that comes their way. Carlos, thank you. You know what I'm trying to say? What's wrong with that? I don't think there's a damn thing wrong with it, especially in this environment when there are entities out here, central banks colluding with policymakers here to destroy all of us. Joe will tell you that. Magic Mika is going to tell you that. Mika G is going to tell you that. Everyone's going to tell you that. All my friends here are going to tell you that's the truth. We know for a fact that the system is rigged. Rigged, rigged. Count. Thank you. Oh yeah, well, yeah. There's no doubt about that. They're gonna do that. The bikini truther, cool deal. Thank you. Anyway, people, look. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but there are, and I mean this in the literal sense. I mean, they're trying to murder us. All right. They're trying to destroy us. They want us gone. They want us slaves to the system. We cannot, you can sit back and do nothing, or you can take action. All right. As you have known since the beginning, this is a channel for people of action. This is not gloom and doom. This is about looking at the situation. I get it all the time. Greg, you're a gloom and doomer. Really? Oh, I don't think so. What I'm doing here, and what we are all doing here, is looking at the situation, seeing what's going on, understanding what's happening, and then bang, taking action. You understand? Anyway, let us move forward. Gold and silver catching a bid. Crude oil falling under pressure yet again. This is a long, drawn out, in my opinion. We did have that whole contango issue here, but I don't think that's what's happening here. There's a lot of speculation as to what's going to go on here with Saudi Arabia promising to, this is another freak show. This freaking Saudi Arabia things that dwell over there. What they say one thing, they do another thing. All they're doing is manipulating the market. That's all they ever do. And again, this is another master that we have to serve along with the Federal Reserve. And I think it makes me want to puke all over my freaking desk. I think most of you would probably agree with that. Anyway, look, in the longer run, my take, and I'm never going to sway from this. Okay. Commodities are going higher, much higher, because of the movement, the predictable movement of cash through markets. Right now, it's risk on. People, I told you this before. When Powell thing, vomitous mass puke that he is, made it all certain to us all that they were going to keep pumping this market here. What did I say was going to happen? Risk on would be maintained. Stocks would go up. Did we nail that to the wall? I think better than anybody else. I also said cash would come out of commodities. We watched gold take a hit. It did rebound. We watched crude take a hit. We're waiting for the rebound. It's going to happen. You just got to be patient sometimes, all right? It's sometimes difficult, like me, for example. All right, I'm sitting here every day waiting for this market to drop 400, 500, 600 points, maybe even 1,000. And I would jump right in here and buy more. Ali, thank you. Let me say this. I was on a show recently. Oh, goodness. I was on a bunch of shows recently, and I forgot which one it was. And I was talking about how to gauge when a market sell-off is going to, or has legs, which means it's going to keep going, or if it's just a little blip on the radar. There's one very simple way to do that. Well, there's a few ways to check, but the best way to gauge, let's say, for example, okay, I want to give all of you a clear example of this. Let's say stocks take a dump one day. The Dow falls 1,000 points, 1,200 points, 1,700 points. People are going to be panicking, running around like crazy. Oh my goodness, what's going on? What I would do, and I know every single one of you would do, is you immediately, your eyeballs, okay, would immediately shoot over to what the 10-year yield is doing. Is the 10-year yield doing anything dramatic, or is it staying relatively stable? There's number one. If you see, like I said, a big sell-off and the 10-year yield ain't doing too much, where should your eyeballs go next? To the dollar, the Dixie, okay? Nothing going on there either. No knee-jerk into the dollar. We're not seeing any big moves with regard to the 10-year yield here. It can move around a little bit. That's an opportunity to get in there and take advantage of that move. Okay, if you're an index trader, if you're trading SPY, DIA, triple Qs, whatever it might be, and you see a big drop in the market, you want to get in and capitalize on it. If you're a swing trader, a day trader, something like that. I did this for years. Okay, I think I know how to play this game. So again, look at the 10-year yield. You're going to watch the dollar, and then you're going to be able to see whether this is real. If what you're seeing is going to continue, or it's just going to rebound. In fact, if you saw something like that, you never want to catch a falling knife. I get that. But that doesn't mean you can't start to create a small position and try to capitalize on a rebound there, buying calls, or however you want to play it. You understand? I think most of you get it. Anyway, look, you and I get this stuff. We all understand it. This thing is just, It's reached a point where no man and no woman has ever seen before. This is true. This is uncharted territory across the board. But what that means for us, okay, you can sit back and suck your freaking thumb, go hide in a corner and go and go suck your thumb off. Okay. That ain't gonna help you. What you gotta do is look at the situation and say, okay, what am I going to do about it? Right, Magnus? Thank you. Yes. If we know that this whole thing is rigged, and it is, I mean, it's rigged, 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 and rigged on top of that. That presents opportunity, 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 opportunity for every single one of us here. This is, again, a channel for people of action who recognize opportunity when it's knocking on your door, when it's screaming in your face. Thanks, James. You know what I'm talking about. I know you do. Robert gets it too. Absolutely, everybody here. Anyway, look, again, Greg Mannarino sitting here preaching to the choir. Tyler, thank you. Yeah, people, let's do something about those likes, man. Those thumbs up. I'm telling you, if you want to help support my work and you can't do it from a financial standpoint, that's cool. Just at least give the video a thumbs up. It gets it out there. The algorithms pick it up. It lets people see it. Horrified Heartlander. Thank you. People, man, you're awesome. Anyway, yeah, please get bullish on these likes, man. We can do better than that. I know we can. Anyway, what did I miss here? I covered the markets. I told the action here, the 10-year yield, the dollar. We covered Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies getting a bit higher pretty much across the board. People, look, okay. I know a lot of you despise the crypto space for whatever your reasons may be. I get that. I really, really do. It's pretty much an intangible thing, and I think the whole name is a misnomer here. But again, understanding the situation here is pretty easy. Let me just say this too. I've been screaming from rooftops. I started screaming from rooftops over a year ago. All of us here can vouch for this with regard to the issues with the banks. What happened literally like a month after I started raising the alarm? We had the issues with the regional banks collapsing. Okay. That issue is not done. Okay. You think it might be done, but it's not done. Sandy, thank you. And I'm trying again to raise awareness as to what's going on. There are so many reasons right now to look at what's going on here with regard to the financial system, the banks, including the mega institutions, not so much the Goldman Sachs's and the JP Morgans. They're gonna survive, but there's going to be a consolidation here. And I with regard to exposure to derivatives, with exposure to commercial real estate. Thank you, Nick. Bad debt across the board, even credit unions too. They got, they have a lot of exposure to bad debt too. And people keep asking me, is there anything? There's nothing that's completely safe other than maybe locking this stuff up in a vault somewhere. But then what's happening? You're going to watch your purchasing power disappear. You can't sit there in a central bank issued note. You can't just have them floating around your desk and you want to play with them and rub them all over your body. It's not going to do anything, okay, other than watching their purchasing power evaporate. So you got to do something with it. And everything you do, anything you do is going to have risk. You understand? To a certain degree. It's just degrees of risk. You understand? And I understand that, believe me, that with regard to certain asset classes like cryptocurrency, there is a lot of risk here. There is a lot of risk, but I still believe in my heart of hearts that people need some in their portfolios. Go out and get $100, $100 worth of Bitcoin, for example. The market cap of cryptocurrencies has gotten decimated. All right. Look, when you see something like that, if bells and whistles don't go off in your freaking head, then I don't know what the hell was going on in your freaking head. That should tell you something. Not that it's going to zero, because it ain't going there, but more than likely that is a buying opportunity. Well, I'm not that smart, people. Let me explain this to you. A lot of you think I'm really, really smart. I'm really not that smart. That's the truth. For example, with regard to Bitcoin, why did I get in there and buy it at 17,000 and change, whatever it was? Because I looked at the market cap and I said, the market cap has gotten just slaughtered. Maybe this is a good time to just buy a little bit. I haven't bought since that time. Not saying I wouldn't. Again, even if I decide to pull profit from the Bitcoin, I'm still going to keep my initial investment in it. You understand? Which crypto Pick one. I mean, everyone seems to, fall back on Bitcoin. This is a question from Kim. So, it's a great question. And I think that's a lot of the fear here. Why do I say Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the mommy. And everyone's heard of Bitcoin. There are some of these other ones people never even freaking heard of. Not that they're not good. There are some out there that are outstanding, absolutely. But everyone knows Bitcoin. Anyway, look, I'm just throwing this out here. Again, hard assets, the place to be. Silver, my favorite asset of all time. It will not change. We are going to get to a 1-to-1 ratio with regard to the Dow. I just can't see that another way. Where's the bottom of the Dow? Well, we know that it's massively, massively lower than it is right now. 1-to-1 gold Dow and 15-to-1 silver. I mean, we're talking about multiples higher on these assets. So at least you got to have that. I would hope that every single one of you, and again, I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything, but I want you to think about it, ponder what it means for you. And if you feel that the right thing to do is to have some metals in your portfolio, I mean, just a little bit of it. And it's astonishing how few, 1 or 2% of the people on this planet actually hold this stuff. You want to talk about an asset class that has the potential to go to the freaking Pluto, which I don't know is a planet anymore, and beyond. I mean, again, the environment is pretty simple to understand, people. It's risk on. It's being maintained that way. The illusion of the markets is being maintained, and you and I we knew that it would happen because we kept saying it's not over. It's not done. They're not done. They're not done. When you and I were sitting back here and watching that 10-year yield, bang, 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 over 5%, higher. It looked like an uncontrolled sell-off. The market was not liking it. Then all of a sudden a miracle happens. I mean, we were in the biggest bear market that we've ever seen, a most vicious bear market in history. In history, you wouldn't know that though if you were watching the propaganda ministry. They don't tell you these things, but that's the truth. We just came out of the most vicious bear market in the debt market ever. All of a sudden, a miracle happened. I mean, this thing is done a 180 and then some. Who's buying all the debt? Come on, people, please. You know who's doing this, and it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Not only is that not going to stop, but the mechanism of pulling cash into the now from the future, that's going to grow exponentially. I already said this, but I'm going to tell you again. Moving into next year, 2024, watch what happens with spending for wars and every other freaking thing you could dream about. Things you can't even have a nightmare over is going to happen here because it must happen to keep the system propped up, especially because we're in a presidential selection cycle. I've told you this a billion times. You all know this, people. Nobody knows any of this better than you do. Oh, man, I'm telling you, my blood pressure must be going to the moon. I'm actually getting freaking dizzy. All right, look, I better stop before before I blow a gasket here. Anyway, people, this guy, he loves you a lot. Thank you all for supporting my work. I thank you, Abe. I appreciate that. On the first of every month, I say, hey, support my work, please, people. Whatever you got, I ask for $5. If you got $1, that's fine. Or at least give me a thumbs up. You're right. Those thumbs up are valuable. Lava. Thank you, man. Everybody, please check out Lava. She's awesome. You're gonna love her work. She's an awesome person. Anyway, you want to cover some questions before? I know I'm running off here at the mouth, and I do apologize for that. But I get worked up. I'm extremely passionate about this stuff. I'm trying. Clever Custom. Thank you, Ken Derpula. Thanks again, man. Anyway. All right. Let's talk about some of this stuff here. Joe, you could play silver like that. I don't do it. Have I done it in the past? Yes, I have. When I used to be more of an intraday, there's a difference here too. Intraday trading, intraday versus day versus swing trading. When I was doing all that stuff, thank you, Iron Dave, I would jump in and out of assets, ETFs like that. No, if you are a silver investor, if you want to invest in silver, you keep it real. Look at that, Joe. Exactly. Keep it real. I have the smartest people on the planet following my blog. You're all smarter than me by leaps and bounds. Trust me, I'm not that smart. I am just able to look at a situation. Thank you, Dan. And look at what's going to be the most likely outcome. Not the definite, but the most likely. And if you look back on the work that we've all done together, because this is our thing out here, people, we've gotten it right the vast majority of the time. We're never, ever going to get it right 100% of the time. We can't do it. It's an impossibility. But if we can stay ahead of the curve, which we always are, I mean, and we're light years ahead of the curve. Thank you, Jim. And we raise our awareness. We consider the situation and then say, okay, what is the most likely outcome? We're going to be right the vast majority of the time. And of course, people are going to pound us we can be right 9 out of 10 times. The one time that we get it wrong, people are going to attack us. It makes me laugh. It really does. I like to see their record. You know what I mean? What we're doing here, let me just say this too. Wow. Look at this. We're almost at 800 thumbs up. That's awesome. What we are doing, every one of us here, okay, all of us that are listening to this blog, in one way or another, are playing a game of incomplete information. I've said this a million times. We're looking at the situation. We're trying to fill in gaps. We're never going to have all of the information laid out before us. It's an impossible thing to do. But what we can do is take the available information, look at it, analyze it, fill in those gaps, and then say, this is going to be the most likely outcome. And like I said, more times than not, we're going to get it right. And that's all we need to do. We need to be right more times than we're wrong. And it's not that hard to do when you look at the situation and you realize what's going on. Does that make sense to all of you? I really think it does, honestly. Oh man, I'm actually getting dizzy, man. My blood pressure must be in the freaking moon. All right, people, look, this video is almost half an hour long. We broke 800. I want to thank all of you again. You are absolutely incredible, every single one of you. I love all of you from the heart. We got each other's backs always, and we will never let each other down. And again, thank you to all of you who support my work. You're absolutely incredible. MJ, thank you too. All of you. You're all just, look, how can we lose? When we care about each other, we love each other, we're being charitable to each other. We meet here every day, twice a day. You know, most of you who are here right now are with me every freaking live stream, and I love that. We've really created something big here. All right, and it's worldwide. We got people here from all over the world. Think about that, and I love that. This is how we should all live, all of us as a family, okay? If we did, do you think we'd be slaughtering each other around the world, spreading blood and guts from one end of this world to the other, funding wars and everything else? Do you think this would be going on? No. We've been warned about all this by some pretty smart people in the past, okay? And it just seems that people don't learn or something. And it's not that hard to be part of a community like this one where people legitimately do care about themselves and each other, you know. And that's another thing, caring about yourself. All right, don't give up. Let me just say that too, Roberto. Thank you. Some people surrender, and that's a lot of what's happening today. They're surrendering their liberties, they're surrendering their freedoms. They kind of give up. They don't care about themselves anymore. They want to be taken care of instead of taking care of themselves. And that has created legions of people who are willing slaves to the system. And it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible, horrible thing to see. Exactly. Never say die. We're never going to give up, and they can't beat us. I don't care what they do, what they try to do. It's you know, as long as we stay ahead of the curve, we can't be beat. All right, look, I'm really going to end this video, but I will see all of you on Sunday, okay, for my markets to look ahead. I just, you know, again, I put this to a vote. I was going to stop doing my markets to look ahead. I was contemplating it, but I left it all up to you. Uncle Vito, thanks. I had an Uncle Vito once. He wasn't my real uncle, but I considered him an uncle. Going, gold. Thank you too. Anyway, but all of you said, hey, Greg, you know, keep, not all of you, but the vast majority of you wanted me to keep the markets a look ahead going. So I will keep that going for all of you. All right. That's the truth. We got each other's backs, as I always say. Love you all. See you on Sunday. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your night. Do something fun. All right. I will see you Sunday.